Это третья часть нашего сногсшибательного прохождения Альфа Polaris. Мы находимся сейчас в очень интересном положении. Походу начинается хоррор. И мне вот, честно говоря, туда страшновато даже входить. Но я попробую. Это большая комната. Какое-то свечение. Буря. Снежная буря. Так, пойдем дальше. Возьми ружье. Как не нужно, вдруг кто-то нападет. Эл. Что случилось, Эл?
Al?
Look at that. A hell of a light show. Like the sky itself was burning. Such profound beauty. I took a reading with the magnetometer, and I think we're very close to a record-breaking geomagnetic event right now.
There's something strange taking place here. The radio is blaring out some weird noise.
Yes, that makes sense, and it wouldn't even be the first time. Way back in 1859, a couple of great geomagnetic storms took place. They were caused by immense coronal mass ejections in the sun. Back then, telegraph stations were spreading all over rural America. Electricity was soon to be introduced to households, and telegraph lines operated with it. As it happened, something freaky took place during a peak in the solar storm. Stations in Portland and Boston maintained conversation for several hours with no battery power.
They were using some form of geomagnetic energy?
Correct. Geomagnetically induced current is the term. The field lines fall here. Now, I don't know the specifics, but I think the ion storm is causing the effect you described. Who knows? We might see even more peculiar things happen.
Кто знает, может, произойдут. Вот например, стулья, что-то не
I
так.
ran into Tully in the living room and had a conversation with him while he was having some sort of nightmare.
A waking dream? That's interesting, especially considering his fixations. He's constantly going over the dreams he's had, the dreams he will have, and so on. But I wouldn't worry. Ted's obviously very responsive to these things, and he's been under some stress lately. The isolation and the darkness can get to you.
Not like this. It took me several tries to get him to wake up, and what he told me about the dreams...
Yes, but still, between you and me, waking dreams occur mostly in juveniles. Let's put it this way. Ted doesn't always operate on the level of maturity one would expect.
У меня тоже были кошмары.
There's more. I've also had a nightmare. In my dream, I remember the terror of someone watching me from a distant ice shelf. Tully had a feeling of something haunting him in the woods.
You think there's a connection?
I don't know what to think.
Without trying to be dismissive, you both have spent long days out on the glacier. Anyhow, there may still be a powerful subconscious message for you to grasp. A spiritual one, as some people in touch with themselves would say.
You could be right.
But maybe you should hit the sack before I switch on my full ramble mode.
How can an ionospheric phenomenon have effects this severe?
Well, I'll bet you see aurora in Norway all the time, Rune. Do you know much about them?
The basics. They're caused by solar wind getting trapped by Earth's magnetic field.
That's the science. However, the Cree call them the dance of the spirits. Looking at them here, in the middle of this desolation, they waver constantly, like a veil or a mask. A mask shifting to reveal a glimpse of some long, lost truth. Perhaps a visual message, which we, as mankind, are no longer able to connect to.
Возможно.
I remember watching them as a child and having similar sentiments. Like they were put up there as a show. There are legends in Norway. I think the Sami people believe the northern lights can descend from the heavens to hurt men.
I'm glad you understand, Rune. getting older, I've come to realize there's a more spiritual side to the Arctic.
Пойду.
One more thing. I don't think you'll be able to reach anyone with a radio tomorrow. We've blanked out during ion storms half this magnitude before.
Then I'll treat the bear myself.
That's the spirit. We should also power down the tower so nothing gets fried. Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
А где наши кости? А, рано? Ну ладно. Пойдем пока. Погуляем. Так, что в подвале? Что-то капает, шумит. Зажигалка осталась только. Стоит ли выходить на улицу? Вот мне интересно. Ни в коем случае. Конечно, нет. Новую я будить тоже не хочу. Ну, тогда я пойду спать. Так, что у нас на улице? 30 градусов. Второй день. Кто-то приехал.
Hey, Knudsen, you gotta see this.
Kamardar.
Don't you go all sweet on me. I found something real fucking eerie.
The
хорошо.
Swede here needs a little more sleep.
You need to see this.
Fan, before we'll stop.
Сдаюсь.
Okay, you win.
Get down here then. And about last night, we need to talk.
Так, что у нас на улице? Мне очень холодно. Да я вообще могу так пойти. Когда уберешь свои вещи, чувак? Абсента? Ты чё, бухарик, что ли? Ну ты даешь. Плакат Лехембер Оммахотска. Пойдем на улицу тогда. Нас гулять позвали. А где Нова? Нова, где наше свидание? О, Нова, привет.
Everything all right?
Yes, just had a lousy night.
You're not the only one. The radio woke me up.
At least you got some sleep. I've been running those samples for, what, like 4 hours now?
If there's something I can do to help, like pick off the hairier bug legs.
Thanks, but those bugs are still microscopic. How's the bear doing?
I don't know. I haven't visited her yet. We on for tonight?
We are, but I have to zone out for a while first.
You don't look like you slept too well. Rough night?
No, it's more like personal stuff.
Haven't had any strange dreams?
Not really.
Tully had night terrors last night. Seems pretty shaken.
I know. First morning in months, he didn't tell any of his sexist jokes.
Сексистского анекдота. Пойду пока погуляю тогда. Где наш Тулли? Тули, ты где? Куда делся Тули? Вау! Вот это да!
She's gone.
That's a piece of her flesh.
So she wanted out and ripped the cage open?
I don't see any other way this could have happened. Putting her in the cage was a dumb idea.
You've been doing your science project on climate change or whatever. Is this it?
Нет.
No. Polar bears are unpredictable animals, especially when hurt and captured.
You really don't see the pattern here? We are basically animals, right? Maybe the storm messes up everything with a brain.
Like you last night.
Yeah, just like that. Man, I was far off.
I guess it's plausible. The human brain functions on electric signals.
I've been checking the magnetometer, and the worst is yet to come. The storm is gaining momentum.
I probably need to put the bear down. Can I take the snowmobile?
Sure, the keys are in the ignition. I need to chill somewhere for a while.
Нет, только не убивать медведей, пожалуйста. Сюда идут на север, потом пропадают. Она потеряла много крови. Она и так уже умрет. Зачем ее убивать? Ну, поехали. А, ну высадить сначала, естественно. Надо сначала найти медведицу. Чтобы найти медведицу, у нас, соответственно, есть данные ее. Вот, 339, номер ошейника. Посмотрим, наши кости готовы или нет.
Morning.
Morning. Made any progress with the thesis?
Not really.
Well, if it helps, our little side project here, the one involving oil, is showing some real promise.
Ну-ка, покажи-ка.
I see you're making progress with those. Let me know if you find anything.
Конечно, скажу. Не вопрос. И чё? Кальцита. Угу. Может, абсент? Надо какой-то растворчик. Нет. Кислоты? Не хочешь абсентика? А может зажигалочки? Нет, невозможно. А, мы не проверили кое-что еще. Мы не проверили многоцелевой инструмент. О, да. Царапанные символы. Люди, которые танцуют и едят. Какой-то есть глубокий порез. Ничего себе. Кость была расколота, костный мозг был удален. Может быть, он был съеден? Это приводит нас к самым тревожным выводам. Есть некто, кому наверняка что-то об этом было известно. Так, танцует. Может, их где-то здесь найти, этих танцующих ребят? Так, хорошо. Эл мог бы знать. Эл Шауман. Об этих костях. Спросим его. Медведица ушла.
The bear we caught yesterday escaped by tearing open the cage and apparently hurt herself badly.
I'm not surprised. Those are intense animals. What are you going to do with her?
I'll probably have to put her down. If the tracking collar is still on, I'll find her. There are both pictograms and mutilation marks on the bones. Enough to turn this into an academic study.
That may very well be the case, but unless you turn that into potential profit, I don't think the company would be very interested. Otherwise, that sounds very interesting.
Did you have any nightmares last night?
Yes, I had this recurring one when Euler Jr. catches us not doing our jobs. Other than that, just some nighttime flatulence, but that's definitely out of excitement.
Tully's dreams have really gotten to him.
Look, Rune, Ted is not really operating on the level of maturity one would expect. Between you and me, waking dreams mostly occur in juveniles.
Что с нефтью?
I understand you've found a large enough reservoir here to start drilling.
Beats me. Determining the field size will take some seismic work. But we know there's some prime stuff down there. Saturation, volume, color, sweet taste, and whatnot. Substantial bonuses heading our way if we can focus on the mission at hand.
Да, классно. Нам всем хватит хороший бонус. Чем собирается заниматься он, интересно?
What are you working on?
Tellurix, if that means anything to you. Look, we need to hustle with this thing. Bob's kid is not known for his tactfulness.
Что с рацией?
Do you think I can use the radio now?
It's still powered down, and I think we should keep it that way. The Tempest is raging up there, even now, in the daytime. That could seriously cripple our equipment. I don't think we'd be able to contact anybody. Unless you want to listen to some dork playing ukulele on Radio Waikiki. One time, a few years back, I remember being unable to hear even the carrier wave from Thule, while still listening to the Moscow Philharmonic. Strange are the ways of upper atmospheric transmissions.
Ясно. Ну что ж, пойдем дальше. Говорим с нашей подружкой. Может, она что-то знает. На улице у нас волки воют, как кошки. Нова, нам надо поговорить.
How's the bear doing?
She's gone. She must have smashed the cage during the night. She's apparently hurt pretty badly, and has an infected jaw. She'll probably die if I don't find her.
But you can find her, right?
Yes, if the tracking collar is still attached.
Шкуры кости.
Al thought you might have some insight on those bones and the hide he found.
If you mean as an Inuit, not that much. People often have this misconception of our cultural unity, but in reality, there are many different cultures and groups. I'm a Canadian Inupiat. In Greenland, there's the Kalaalleq, although the dialect spoken here in the north is Inuktitut.
Inuktun.
It's very close to the Canadian Inuktitut that my mom spoke to me. However, I took some courses on Paleo-Eskimo cultures, so I might be able to tell you something.
Что о костях скажешь?
I found interesting details in the bones Al brought. There are knife marks all over them, and the bone marrow has been exposed in one.
That's usually done to feast on the juicy innards.
Which would mean the Paleo-Eskimos were practicing cannibalism.
No, I don't think so.
Why not? It's known to happen in extreme conditions.
Trust me, this is something that I know really well. Cannibalism is a strong cultural taboo for the Inuit. They would not do that. There's some evidence of even older cultures than the Inuit in Greenland. Degenerate hunting cults, very warlike and tightly organized, which doesn't apply to us.
Sounds like they could have practiced violent rituals.
But as I said, they were not Inuits. According to the myth, they were driven into the sea by old Inuit tribes. I have a couple of articles on the subject. I'll fetch you one.
Давай. Я
I also
почитаю.
have another article about the mythological side. I'll try and find it for you tonight.
It's supposed to be a major oil prospect down there?
Yes, but Al thinks we need to do a little more work before trumpeting about our find.
Эйлер-младший,
You
кто
didn't
такой?
seem very happy to hear Euler Jr. was coming.
А, это тот
We
пацан.
just don't need anyone from management meddling in things right now, especially those who are full of themselves.
Расскажи о себе.
From my first day here, I noticed how you take pride in your past. I'm sure your mom taught you that.
Not really. She always told me to forget the bygone ages and become a trucker.
Ты красавица,
You'd
конечно.
make the world's cutest log truck driver.
Surely you've noticed that there are lots of cute girls pretty much everywhere.
Ну, я пойду. Какой-то супчик готовится. Тут ничего нового. Хорошо, пойду дальше. Если она нам дала записку, естественно, мы ее можем прочитать. Статьи. Антропофагия. Как уже упоминалось в главе, посвященной Крису, каннибализм в культуре эскимосов считается неприемлемым поведением. Некоторые племена видят в каннибализме симптом душевной болезни. Некоторые знак того, что в кого-то вселяется злой дух. Некоторые и то, и другое. Виновный в каннибализме нарушил мистические законы и должен быть изгнан из общины или убит. Мы рассмотрим миф о тонюках, в основе которого лежит табу на каннибализм. Здесь много символов. Хорошая рыбалка в море за 2 горами. Хорошая охота на западных равнинах. Ну, рисуют они, конечно, четко. Народ эскимосов обладает сильным духом и сильным разумом. Это показывает и символ, обозначающий эскимосов. Дух эскимоса стремится к небу, чтобы когда-нибудь соединиться с предками. Эскимосы, говорящие с призрачными полярными сияниями, Т-образные символы, вероятно, обозначают предков, перевернутые символы нерожденных детей. Что-то страшное. Угу. Пойдем искать медведицу. У нас есть данная медведица. Так, ошейник 339. 78, 37, 39. Так. Класс. Кажется, можно это забрать. Ну, давайте искать. Самое интересное, что был номер забит, который я забивал, и он сохранился. Пелинг. Ну, допустим, 78, да? Нет сигнала, нет сигнала. А так, нет сигнала. Так, еще раз смотрим. 339 номер ошейника. Угу. Но я думаю, это должно нам помочь как-то. В плане, что с этими средствами мы теперь можем путешествовать. Пожалуй, пойдем на улицу. К нашему снегоходу. Ну, я думаю, в 4-й части мы как раз начнем путешествие на снегоходе. Всем спасибо. Увидимся. Услышимся. И поиграем.